Hey, it's Tuesday morning. It's 8 o'clock. Brandon is sucking up the coffee. I got mine in front of me too, and
I
we
am.
welcome you. We welcome you to the show. Glad to
Yeah.
have you with us.
We're in November now.
We're into November. Can you believe it? I
No, I can't. I can't.
man, it's almost the end of the year.
Ah, God.
The best thing about it though is the temperature break that we finally have gotten because it's just been too hot, too warm, too stuffy, too long.
That last week or two in October got kind of nice. At night it started to dip a little. I was going for some nighttime walks, felt real good. Now I'm like, okay, cool. I'll put a little hoodie on. Still got shorts on, but I'll put a hoodie on and let's roll.
It's, you don't get out of the shorts until January.
Yeah, and even then it's debatable, but yeah.
Uh, well, hey, we're glad that you're with us. And we've had some great shows. I was reviewing some of the shows as we were heading into to what some of the new things we're going to talk about from here until the end of the year. This has been a really good year. We've had some really interesting shows, funny shows, some serious shows, some really kind of off the wall kind of stuff we've done, which is what we're probably best at.
Yeah, we had some good ones. Yeah, last month in particular hit off really good. So I'm curious, what do you want to talk about today?
Uh, Today, I thought we'd talk a little bit about visiting. Either we go visit family or friends, or they come and visit us, and probably leaning a little bit more towards when people come to visit you. I mean,
Right.
how do we prepare for that stuff? I guess does
No,
it depend on who it is? I mean,
I
if
think so.
yeah,
Yeah.
if a friends are coming, you just say, "Hey, I'll leave the front door open and just let yourself in." It
Yes.
if your parents are coming, the first thing you do is call a housekeeper to
No,
clean.
first thing you do is lock the front door.
You lock the front door and have a housekeeper come in and clean everything because the first thing your mother's going to say is, when was the last time you dusted?"
Man, I tell you, I don't know what it is. I think part of it, and maybe it's just me, but when you get older, or it's maybe not even an older thing, when you get settled into your ways of what you do, having
Well,
house guests for a long period, for a lengthy period of time, that gets that's like a second job
yeah.
without the pay.
And you sometimes realize that you got a little bit more in your closet than it might hold right now because you just take stuff and you stuff it in the closet so it's out of the way.
And it breaks your routine, and I'm okay with that. Like, I never like going to somebody's house where their routine cannot be messed with. Like, they go to bed at 9 o'clock and you're like, I'm here from out of town, what the hell, why are you going to bed?
Yeah, like should I just say I'm going to a movie or I'm just going to go down out and get a cup of coffee? Do you want to go with me? And if you don't, should I go anyway?
Right.
uh
And it's because you're also like, well, I'm also out of town and it's also partly my vacation, but yet I'm staying in your house. So do I got to follow your go to bed at 9 rules?
right, or they go to bed at 9 and you're just ready to sit and watch another movie or two.
Yeah.
And so what do? You have to put on like your headphones and all and plug in and watch the movie like that.
Right. Like, I get some of the routines, look, sometimes they can't take off work. You're there, that's okay. Or they got to make a phone call. When I go out of town, and especially when Luke was younger, like I've got a routine. He has to nap, or he has to go to bed at this time. But it doesn't mean that I'm like going to take a nap too. Although I probably did, but
Well, one of our most loyal listeners is my sister, and
yeah.
she's going to be watching and listening to this show.
Oh, great.
And my sister, when you go visit her, it's like you walk in the door and she'll hand you an itinerary. You
Oh,
know,
God. One of those.
yeah. You're going to be here for 3 days, and this is what we're going to do, AM and PM.
You're already tired. I didn't even do
Right,
anything yet.
we really try to say to Kathy, we came here just to kind of rest and relax. Oh, okay, that's fine, but let's go for a walk first in the morning, and we'll walk the dog. We'll come back, then maybe we'll exercise a little bit. We'll have some breakfast, and then we'll go, to the mall, or we'll go here, or there's a concert tonight, and we'll go out for dinner.
And you're like, where's the rest?
Yeah,
When I sleep?
I want to just chill. She likes to come up with all kinds of options.
And you know what? I know people like that too. And part of it's okay. Like part of it, you're like, this is cool because this is stuff I wouldn't do, or especially if you're going to see music, like who doesn't want to do that?
Right.
But other times it's like I just landed. I literally just landed. I smell like an airport. Uh, could I change and maybe get my luggage?
Right. Yeah. Maybe sit down and have a drink, or, just something to relax a little bit. Okay, fine. You got 15 minutes because we made reservations at this restaurant.
I like people. There's a couple buddies of mine that I haven't seen in a while. If they were to come here, even though I haven't seen them in a while, they just be like, whatever. They literally roll in, sit up on the couch. If Luke was here, they play with him. If not, they pop the TV on, be like, "Hey man, what's up?" And we just start talking.
Yeah.
And it would come up organically. Hey, I'm going to walk down the street to get a cup of coffee, or hey, let's go grab some food. Cool. And they'd leave. Like there's no, like when I went to go see my sister, this was years ago. It's the only time I've been to Colorado. I went to go see my sister right before Luke was born, and it was a like, I hate to say last hurrah, but it was like a last hurrah, And I went like a college kid. I had my little backpack, and she was working. So she's like, "Hey, I don't get out of work when you land. Is that okay?" And I'm like, "I don't care." I literally walked, because that's the great thing about downtown Denver. I walked from the train station to her apartment, stopped at like 9 breweries on the way, drank a beer each time, was drunk before I got there. I had the blast. And she knew. She's like, "Well, what do you want to do?" And I'm like, "Bro, I don't need anything. Let's just go. I don't care if we just walk to the coffee shop. I just want to hang out, and I'm going to buy a drink wherever I go."
Yeah.
And that was the most cool, chill, relaxing trip. I didn't do any tourist stuff. I didn't do anything. But you got other people that are like, "I want to do this. Take me here, 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 here." And you're like, "Oh my God."
Right. Yeah. You got to go to the museums. You got to go to all the spots that most tourists go to. Like you
Yeah.
say, with family, it's that way. If it's a friend, chances are when you arrive, they doors open, let yourself
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, they're in the bathroom still,
Yeah,
playing
you
on
walk in, or
TikTok.
they're sitting on the couch. Yeah, they're playing a video game or something, and don't disturb them, and they ain't going to disturb you. I'll catch up with you in a while.
Yeah, I got this thing I got to do. I'll be ready in like 3 hours,
Yeah, your room's down the hall, second door on the left.
All right. I also realized too that I'm a pretty boring dude, these days. I really am. Like back in the day, yeah, great. I was fun. Now I'm just boring. So for me, like when someone comes over, and they don't very often, but when family comes over, they're like, hanging in the house, and I'm sure they're bored. And I'm like, dude, this is what we do. Like, we hang, we play all day. We walk downtown Main Street and chill. Like, I'm just boring. So I think because of that, I don't get a lot of house guests.
And and do you wonder when they leave, when they leave on the way back to the airport or whatever, they're saying, Brandon just doesn't really do that much.
I know. I'm kind of hoping that my reputation of being just this boring dad guy means that I won't get any house guests, because I really don't
Right.
want any. I
Yeah.
don't want any. I don't want to see anybody.
That's the alternative. You don't want them to go back home and say, "Man, we had the greatest time when we visited Brandon. You got to go visit him."
Yeah, telling like next thing I know, I got my fifth cousin calling me, "Bro, I haven't seen you in 10 years. I'm coming down." No,
Yeah,
don't.
yeah. Hey, can you get me tickets to the soccer game?
Yeah, Texas is full. We don't need you.
No. Well, how about the reverse when you are going to visit?
God, yeah,
Again, it depends on who you're going to visit.
true.
Honestly, yeah. If I'm going to visit my sister, it's all blue jeans and t-shirts and stuff, and take it easy. But better have at least two pair of comfortable shoes because you're going to do some walking.
Right. You're putting on the steps. Right. I got
Yeah, if you're going to visit your folks, you're probably going to have to take a nice collared shirt,
who
a
are you
decent,
talking about?
a de-
If I go to visit my folks, I'm in a hoodie, rolling in with my beanie, walking in like,
they they
uh,
they they know you ain't gonna break your routine for nothing.
no, no. Don't tell me we're going to some fancy dinner where I gotta like button up a shirt. I gotta do that at work. Don't make me,
Yeah,
I'm not doing that.
I mean, but the difference is you actually go to a restaurant that has tablecloths,
Yeah,
or
you go to a restaurant where you call ahead, you're like, wait a minute, what?
it's but
I, I actually am going out of town next month for a few days. I'm sure if they watch this, they're going to hear it and hear me complain, but whatever.
or they're gonna
Um,
say, wait, he's coming already.
Look, I didn't, it's complicated because here's the thing. I am excited because I'm actually get to go to a Pistons game. I haven't been to a Detroit Pistons game in years. I'm going with the guys. Shout out to the guys from the Notes Magoats podcast.
Yeah.
We're meeting and going to a Pistons game. So super excited about that. That's awesome. It's a
You won't be
short
watching
trip.
the game anyway.
We're going to be drinking. I know. I already know. We're down in Detroit. I already know. So we're going to be silly. But I haven't like I don't go for Christmas. It's too complicated. Work, Luke, like I can't do that. His mom's here. We're not trying to do that stuff.
Yeah,
He's got to see everybody.
that's a tough time to travel anyway.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, and traveling with Luke is pretty low key compared to what it was when he was little. Um, but it's still harder than if I'm traveling with myself. Traveling with myself, headphones on, backpack. I don't care about the world. With Luke, I gotta,
just,
you know,
just let me be my boring self.
yeah. And with Luke, I gotta pay attention, and he's, in the wagon, and whatever, because we bring a wagon. I got a fold up wagon, and I just put him in there, put his bag in there, and I drag him through the airport. It's awesome.
That's
And then
cool.
and then yeah, and then they take it on the plane with you. They put it under because they take strollers, so they consider that a stroller, and they'll put it under. So it's really cool. But we're only going for a few days to kind of have a Christmas vibe in December.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, it's more travel than it is hang time, man.
Right.
It's like,
Right.
oh, it's brutal. It's brutal, man.
Well,
So,
and I've often said that about just the airport experience. You got to get up 3 hours early. You got to leave 2 hours before the flight. You got to
oh,
sit and hang around before the flight. If it's not delayed, then you
oh,
fly. You arrive. You have to wait another half hour at least for your luggage to arrive. Then you got to travel to get to where you're going. You've used up an entire day of travel just to get to the point where you're going to sit down and relax.
right. And then it's like at that point, because your window's short, 3, 4 days,
Yeah,
and 1.5 days is travel. So at that point, you're like, I don't want to go anywhere.
right.
Like I'm not minus those dudes, Steve and Brandon, minus those guys. Look, unless you watch the show, guys, I'm not telling y'all I'm coming. I'm not hanging out with anybody else from Michigan. You want to see me, you know where I'll be. You can stop by. I don't want to do nothing.
That's what we've done when we've traveled back north. What we have started doing, because if you're in town for like 3 or 4 days, you just can't see everybody that either wants to see you or you want to see. So
Right.
what we've done is we'll send an email to all of our friends. We're going to be over at the Walnut Cafe or at 8 o'clock on Tuesday morning, and any of you that can join us for coffee and all
Cool.
meet up. Otherwise, we'll see you on Zoom.
Because I got a friend. Actually, I don't talk to her anymore, and but mostly because of this and whatever. She lives out of state, and we hung out quite a bit during like right when COVID started to like the restrictions loosened up, and you could go
Right.
to the restaurants. Her and I went a couple times and sat outside. We were still, not sure what the heck is going on. Um, and I've known her for years, and she's really cool. Whatever, we hung out, we were hanging out more, and it was nice because I didn't have anybody to hang out with during COVID. It was just me and the little man.
Right.
She got an opportunity to move out of state. So she moved, right? But she comes back here quite a bit to see family. Three times in a row, she's come back, and I had to find out through social media. And I'm like, did I do something? Like, so I like blew her up the first time, giving her a hard time, joking, but giving her a hard time. She was like, dude, it was a quick trip. I'm sorry. You know, whatever. I'm not, whatever. Second time, I'm like, blew her up. She's like, oh, yeah, I had a friend's birthday. And I'm like, this girl's straight up ghosting, you know?
Right.
So, third time, she didn't even respond to me. And I'm like, how did we go from hanging out? And there was no like relationship or anything. We are just buddies to blowing me off. And I'm like, I'm going to start doing that to people now. So that's what I do. I just go into town and I'm like, yep, sorry. Oh, yeah. Anyway, if that girl's watching, you know who you are.
Yeah. If you want to reveal yourself, it's up to you.
Yeah. You can come on the show and explain yourself. That's what you can do.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Why you dissed me?
Yeah. It's ridiculous. Known you for like 6 years. You blow me off.
So do you have any, you said you got an upcoming trip going back to watch basketball game in Detroit. Anything else beyond that?
No, Brandon's going to be boring, you know. Well, in a couple of weeks, we're going to Vegas. So, you know, that'll be cool. But that's just like, again, I'm not visiting anybody. So that's an easy trip, you know. Yeah, I've got a friend out there, but I'm not calling him. So
yeah, you just go there and you lose all your money and then come home.
Yeah, I don't think I'm even going to gamble, to be honest with you, when I'm out there at all.
Yeah, that's what they all say.
What am I going to do? I can't even. I'm taking Luke. I can't take him on the floor.
Oh, that's true.
So yeah. he's my check. You know, he's my my AA partner.
Yeah, get him a slot machine app for his phone or something for his iPad.
Well, you know I know they have slot machines in the airport. So maybe if I can walk by, pop a boom, you know, win that quick 50,000, you know.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, you can't avoid them. You can't avoid them there. In fact, the baggage claim area, the walls are lined with slot machines while you're waiting for your baggage to arrive.
I haven't been since I was in my 20s. So and that was
really
yeah. I'm not a big look, I'll be honest with you. It doesn't appeal to me very much. It really doesn't.
Well, when we were in business, we used to go there twice a year for the buying shows.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. And Lauren and I are not gamblers, and I have a cousin that lives there, and we spend time with them. But in all the trips to Vegas, if I've gambled $200 total, that's probably stretching it.
Yeah, my limit usually, I'm not saying I didn't hit 3 or 4 at times, like with different, well, even at the Detroit casinos, but yeah, I really don't care. I go more for the Rat Pack experience. Let me grab a cigar, let me drink, you know, that's what I did. And I just walk around the streets like I was Frank Sinatra, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, part of that experience is just looking at the lights.
Yeah. Well, but no, I'm not going anywhere. I don't really want to. I got some friends coming in town from Arizona for the holidays. They're not staying with me. They're actually going to be out in Fort Worth, but we're going to meet up for the day.
Yeah.
And that's cool because we can plan, and that's fun. And they've got like 3 kids, so it would be chaotic, but yeah, I'm not doing much after this trip to Michigan. I'm tapping out, you know.
When we have an opportunity to get away, we usually like to go on a cruise, and we got a cruise set up for the end of the year, and all
that'd be fun. Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, that's like traveling and staying at the same time, because you unpack when you get on board, and you don't have to pack until the last day. And every morning you wake up and you're in a different, you know, port, and
you don't know where you're at.
You decide you want to get off the ship or you want to just stay on the ship. And the food is really good, and you always overeat.
You got everything at your disposal. You know, I get that. I know David and I, David Harvey, we been talking for ages to plan a trip. He's from Maryland. So him and I mean, I guess whoever, but it's supposed to be like a guy's thing, go do a quick trip to Maryland. and just I want him to, I told him, I said, there's two things I want to do in Maryland. Take me to one brewery, I don't care what it is, just because, and let's go eat some seafood. Even though I don't like a lot of seafood, let's go eat it because I'm there.
Right, right.
I got to try it, right? And I
Yeah,
said otherwise, and I was like, I want to go in Maryland like in the wintertime or the fall when it's cold.
yeah.
That's what I want to do. But we're looking at that. I don't know when. Probably won't be this year. Probably next year. We were going to do it last year, but he had the wedding and the house, and I was like, forget that. But that's, man. I've just got it. It's expensive too, man.
Yeah. Well, I think the one thing it is there's the thing called the Santa Claus syndrome. Have you heard of
Is
that?
there? No, it sounds
Huh?
weird.
The,
No.
the idea behind the Santa Claus syndrome is to just go visit people once a year. That's it.
And just
Yeah,
rotate people.
that's right. That's right. Just pick a year and I'll come and visit you that year. And then you go to the bottom of the list.
Well, that's what I liked about going to Colorado, and I really love Colorado anyway. I need to get back there, but I got my sister there. I got two friends there, well, three friends there, and then my cousins there. So I was like, oh my God, I can knock all these people out, boom, 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 and
Right.
be good. Well, now my cousin just moved. I just announced on Facebook that she's moving, and I'm like, oh, this sucks. Now my people are starting to get further across the country.
Right. Well, but it's
uh,
just another place to visit.
no, she's moving to like South Dakota. I'm not going there.
South Dakota.
I don't know. I got to talk to her. I don't know
Yeah. Well,
why.
that's a place that a lot of people visit once a year, and they go on a motorcycle to
Yeah, to start.
it's like a half a million motorcycles hit South Dakota every year.
Look, I know it's beautiful,
It
but
is.
I'm not going. What? How do you? Anyway, I don't know. I don't know why
Well, the
she moved.
trivia question is other than Mount Rushmore, what else is there in South Dakota?
Nothing. Aren't the Black Hills there or something?
Yeah, but that's where the where Mount Rushmore is.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's kind of all everything to see in South Dakota is all in one place.
There's some ranches there. I don't know. Some
Yeah,
buffalo. What the hell's out there?
it's like Iowa. You drive through Iowa and you say, well, I've been there.
Wow, there's Iowa. Some corn over here, potatoes.
Well, one place to visit is right here every Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. with a hot cup of coffee and with Brandon and Stuart and another episode of Trash Talk. So go out and make it a good one, and we'll see you again next week.
See you
Bye.
guys.